Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, and it feels like forever since I've seen you, Linda. I'm telling you
I
what,
know.
we
It
you were
does.
doing 3 times a week, and then you got a weekend in there, and then now all of a sudden it just seems like forever since
It
I've seen
does. I forgot today was Monday earlier, and it's like, oh, I get to see my peoples today.
you. Yay! We're gonna do that dance,
Yeah.
even though we got people who have gone absolutely stark raving mad.
But before we start on that,
All right.
I want to say a big thank you to all the vets out there and
Yep.
the people that had vets in their life that gave their life for this country.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
Absolutely.
Thank you, thank you,
Absolutely.
thank you for your service. I want to thank the police too for their service. I know some of them are veterans, a lot of them are veterans, and want to thank the fire department for their service also, and anybody else in that realm.
Yep, and I want to thank the service for my freedom. Thank you very much for my freedom because you know what? If you hadn't done what you done, I wouldn't be able to speak the way I do. So thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have our freedoms, and let freedom ring on Tuesday night, didn't it?
Yes, it did. But I never thought I was gonna see so many crazy people. You know,
Meltdown.
can we I know you're gonna talk about something, but I want to talk about something real quick before we go into it. However it turned out my way. I'm sorry I didn't be like that. But I was thinking today it's kind of like the kid on the playground. We learn really easy, real fast and real young that when it's your turn is over, it's my turn. So
Right.
I just kind of look at it that way. It's my turn now, and
Right.
let's see what we can do. Don't start talking about what's wrong before we even start.
Right. And for all those people that you hear say, "Oh, they stole the election." Yes, we did by votes. We stole the election by legal votes.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Linda. We're going to start hearing just they heard for the last 4 years. But the difference, well, my own personal opinion. We don't need to go there, but we're going to hear the same rhetoric now for the next 4 years. How we stole it. All right, we're going to hear
Right.
that, and I don't like it, but we're going to hear it because nobody's ever happy, no matter how it turns out, and
Mm-mm.
it's sad. You know, I
No.
did my time. I did my 4 years with Biden, and I didn't fall on the ground, and I didn't kick my feet, and I didn't buzz my hair off, and I didn't do all that crazy stuff because you know what? It's 4 years for Pete's sake, y'all. It's 4 years, and then you have your chance to talk again or vote again, or
And you know what, you guys? When you get up in age, 4 years goes by so damn quick. It's
it
not
does.
funny. I'm telling you, I do not know what happened. I think I blinked and fell asleep, and I woke up in my 60s because I don't know what happened to my 50s. I really don't.
Well, actually, when you think about it, you kind of blinked and this election thing was over. He had done
Except for
his
the damn
thing.
commercials.
Well, but I mean, he done his time, and
Yeah.
you know what, y'all? I don't know what you think, but I think that Joe Biden and Jill Biden voted for Trump. I'm just saying. I got this funny feeling.
Possible. It's very,
Well,
very
I just got this sneaky feeling. I think they did because Joe was not happy with the way they did him.
no. Mm-mm. No, and they're still talking crap about it too. If he would have got out of the race soon,
Well, and now what they want to do is take him out. Say he's
or if he
crazy.
wouldn't have run again, he had a different running mate, and we could have
Well,
stopped
and
it.
now Now they want to say he's crazy, and they want to take him out of office and put Kamala as president. Which,
For 60 days?
yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me because it'd be a footnote in history.
Just so she could be the first woman president,
Yes,
one way or another.
yeah. And you know what's scarier is they want Sotomayor to resign because she's got diabetes so bad. They want her to resign so that. Hey, KMM, it's good to see you.
Hi, KM.
I
Hi,
don't
my
know.
lady.
But you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if that's not what they do. It would not surprise me if that's not what they do. All right, let's go there. Or they may put her. They may put her in the Supreme Court, and that's a lifelong job.
I don't know.
But they've got it. They've got a plan for her. They're going to put her somewhere. They're going to put her somewhere. I'm telling you.
Yep. That's for sure. Hi, Donna. How are you?
Hey, Donna. It's good to see you. So we're going to talk about, or Linda wants to talk about Project 25. Now, before we even go any further and talk about it, I want to say real quick, I'm all about peace, y'all. You know what? I'm all about peace. The election's done. If Biden or if Harris would have won, yeah, I would have been a little upset. Okay, I'd have been a little upset, but I'm not buzzing my hair off, and I'm not gonna not ever talk to my family again because they voted the way they did. Because you know what? Bottom line is love, and your family's your family, and 4 years is 4 years. All right, let's get that straight. 4 years is 4 years. And I'm not losing my family over 4 years of an election. Hey, so if I got myself straight there, I think that he's going to do good for our country. But I think that before we start shaking up and throwing a big fit, he hasn't even gotten in there yet.
Give me 1 minute.
Right. Let's don't put the cart before the horse. You know, let's see what happens. And you know what? I'll be the first one to stand up here if he does something wrong or one of his administration does something wrong. I will be the first one to stand up here and say, you know what? I didn't agree with what they just did. But let's give it a chance. You know, we went through 4 years of everybody cheating and everybody was at everybody's throat and everybody was having a crazy fit and everybody was, come on, y'all. It's an election. What happened before all of this? We all got along just fine. And I'm going to be honest with you. I probably would have stood up and threw a big fit over the Bush administration, if any. You know, I mean, for God's sake, I don't think he did a whole lot for our country, but that's my own personal opinion. Okay. Because I think that he had his hands in things he shouldn't have. But again, that's my own personal opinion. But let's see what he does. Sadly, I think that is going to be a constant trend. Well, you know what? All we can do is pray that it's not a constant trend because it's ridiculous. You know what? I was thinking today when I was watching all of these meltdowns and all of this stuff and the stolen election, I kind of think about this for a second. Do you know, have you ever been in the grocery store and you see somebody and they got their kid in the grocery store and that kid wants a candy bar and the mother says, no, you can't have that candy bar. And that kid falls down on the ground and starts screaming and hollering, kicking their feet up in the air and acting crazy. I kind of felt that way. It's like, okay, you know what? It's an election, y'all. It's over. I'm only one person. Um, yes, KMM, yes, our English friend is fine. I talked to her today and she's fine. She's just a little upset because I don't think it turned out the way she wanted it to. But you know what? It is what it is. And it's, you know, I mean, I can apologize all day long for who I voted for, but I'm one person in America over 100 million. And I don't feel like I need to apologize. Just like nobody needs to apologize to me if they voted for Kamala. It came out that way, y'all. Now it's time for us to get to work. We got things to do. We got taxes to eliminate. We got the food to bring down in prices. We need people to get jobs. Please, dear God, are you listening from my mouth to your ears? We need to get things going and we need to come together as one country. Yes, we need term limits. Absolutely. You know, I love my party and everything, but y'all, let's be honest. It's time for Mitch McConnell to carry on, you know, because he's kind of something's not right with him. He's kind of pausing and having mini strokes and stuff. So, you know, it's time somebody takes over his position too. You know, I agree. And it is what it is. People voted. This is what it is. And you can't start screaming and hollering. Yep, you're right. He needs to retire. It's time for Mitch McConnell to go on to the beach and hang out with Joe Biden and them just sit there and drink pina colada on the beach and talk about the weather. You know, it is. It's that time. It's that time. You know, they done their job. They did their service. All right, carry on. Biden's been in the end up there for how many years, y'all? I mean, he's what, 80 years old, and I know he got up there probably around in his 30s, so he's got to been up there 50 years. It's time to move on. Can you imagine? I wouldn't want to be up there in Congress for no freaking 50 years. In fact, I wouldn't even want to do 4, but it's, see, 50 years. Yeah, it's time. It's time they move on. Go enjoy their life. Go enjoy your life. You did your time. You did your service to our country. Move on and have a good time. You know, we talk about how old Donald Trump is. Well, I'm going to say this for him. Okay. I got to say this for him. I'm 60 years old this year. I'm the same age as Kamala Harris. Okay, I'm going to tell you that because I want y'all to know. And I want you to know that that man had more energy than I have ever. It is jail, Milady Sato. Being up there is like being in jail. It's time to get on with it. Let them out. Let them out. Let them go enjoy themselves. Because I wouldn't want to be there.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to do a legal matter and somebody came by to talk about it. So
it's all good. We were just talking about how we think that we need term limits and we need to get some of these old guys that can't stand up anymore, like Mitch McConnell, to go away. Chuck Schumer's getting up there in age. He needs to go away.
I think Schumer got voted out this time. Or was it Schiff? It's either Schumer or Schiff. One of them.
No, Schiff is still there.
Okay, then Schumer did get voted out this time. Somebody beat him. Don't quote me on it, but I'm almost sure.
That's exactly what we all want, Lady Sato. We want to make money. We want a happy life, and we want to be able to go on vacations. I would love to go on a vacation. Okay. That'd be awesome.
I'm going on a vacation to your house.
Okay. Well, you got to be able to afford it.
At least it'll be a vacation for me.
Yeah. I mean, we need some peace too, y'all. Love your neighbor. Be happy with your neighbor. You know, we need some love generated around here instead of throwing your legs up and kicking your feet and screaming and hollering and buzzing your hair off. I'm telling you right now, I am not buzzing my hair off. I don't give a damn who's president of the United States. I am not shaving my hair bald. I refuse.
And I don't care who is president of the United States. I'm not going to
There it
say,
is.
I'm going to move.
Well, they're not going to move. They said that last time. They ain't moving anywhere.
Yeah, there is. Look, it's the portal right there. No, that is for time that
They did that. Lady Saito, the Republican women shaved all their hair off when Biden got in office too. I'm not doing it. I'm not shaving my hair off for no president. I don't care. I'm not abstaining from sex for a mere. Well, it doesn't matter for me, but I mean, when you get to this age, come talk to me.
you get to this age and it's like, you want to do what?
You what?
Your mind wants to do that.
Well, no wonder Donald Trump has got so much energy. Well, no, his wife is 62. No, she's only 52 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got to keep up with her. But I tell you what, that man has got more energy than any person I've ever seen in my life. I wish I knew what the heck he's taking. I don't know what he's taking.
You think KMM?
It's a bit extreme. I don't know. If you want to buzz your hair off and you want to throw yourself down in an aisle at the grocery store, kick your legs up in the air and scream and holler and say, I'm never going to talk to my mom again, and I'm never going to talk to my daddy again, and I hate anybody that voted for Trump, and I'm going to burn your house down. All right.
I know. He never had one drop of liquor.
It is time that we have some people mentally evaluated, because that is mental illness.
Oh, there's cuckoos on both sides.
Oh yeah, don't you worry. We got some Republicans that need mental evaluations.
With me saying that slides me right into Project 2025. We've got cuckoos on both sides.
All right. Well, the floor is yours, Linda. You talk about it. I'll just chime in when I can.
Is Project 2025 real? Yes, it's real. Is it a Trump project? No, it's not. Who wrote it? The Heritage Foundation. And then there were 140 ex-staff members, cabinet members, whatever you want to call them, for Trump. Did Trump know they were writing this? No. Has Trump ever read it? No. Do some of the cuckoo crazies want him to follow it? Yes. Will he follow it? No. And I'm going to, normally I don't do it this way, but I'm going to do it this way today so that I have the proper facts and the proper wording so that everybody understands it the way I understood it. So it was at least 144 people. And the Heritage president, Kevin Roberts, he worked on Trump's transition team. And he described it as institutionalizing Trumpism. Those were his words.
Okay, so let me ask real quick. Was he in the first administration? Because he's not in this administration, right?
He was on the transition team in 2016.
Okay, well, you know what? We already have said that Trump was surrounded by a bunch of bad people. Okay.
There you go. That's where I was leading with the 140 people. Now,
all right, continue on.
And I ask you this. If I was to write a book, do you think Trump would know I was writing that book? Do you think Trump would know what I put in that book? Do you
No, but
think?
I think he sue you for defamation if you say too much that's wrong about him?
Yes,
Just
he
say
could.
it. All
He
right.
could. But the thing is that because these extreme right weirdos, it is what it is. I mean,
See,
I'm not.
did you hear that, y'all? We have right weirdos.
Yes, we do. We have extreme right weirdos. That okay. These are some of the things that they do call for, and I'm doing, like I said, I'm going to do this. I might summarize a little bit, but these are the actual words. I'm not putting in my own words. So this is where people are getting the stuff from, because they all were hell-bent. No, I can't say all. People were hell-bent on reading this 2025 project thinking that this was Trump's words. And it's not. But in it, it does say about gutting abortion access. And what it was is that there is an FDA drug that was approved during a medication abortion in the 19th century law, and it was to ban this drug, the medications and the equipment, from being sent through the United States Postal Service. Did you hear that? It was to ban the medication and materials. That's what they're going on, gutting the abortion access, is that it was going through the United States Postal Service. Not that they were gutting the abortion process. Okay? We got that one down. Mass deportation.
Okay, can I interject real quick, because I want to show something real quick. Let me share something real quick, and then I'll let you continue on. But I wanted everyone to see this right here. All right, hang on just a second.
The Republican Party will always support the creation of strong, thriving, and healthy American families. We want to make it easier for mothers and families to have babies, not harder. That includes supporting the availability of fertility treatments like IVF in every state in America. Like the overwhelming majority of Americans, including the vast majority of Republicans, conservatives, Christians, and pro-life Americans, I strongly support the availability of IVF for couples who are trying to have a precious baby. What could be more beautiful or better than that? Today, I'm pleased that the Alabama legislature has acted very quickly and passed legislation that preserves the availability of IVF in Alabama. They really did a great and fast job. The Republican Party should always be on the side of the miracle of life and the side of mothers, father, their beautiful babies, and that's what we are. IVF is an important part of that, and our great Republican Party will always be with you in your quest for the ultimate joy in life. Many people have asked me what my position is on abortion and abortion rights, especially since I was proudly the person responsible for the ending of something that all legal scholars, both sides, wanted and, in fact, demanded be ended. Roe v. Wade. They wanted it ended. It must be remembered that the Democrats are the radical ones on this position because they support abortion up to and even beyond the 9th month. The concept of having an abortion in the later months and even execution after birth, and that's exactly what it is. The baby is born, the baby is executed after birth, is unacceptable, and almost everyone agrees with that. My view is now that we have abortion where everybody wanted it from a legal standpoint, the states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land. In this case, the law of the state. Many states will be different. Many will have a different number of weeks, or some will have more conservative than others, and that's what they will be. At the end of the day, this is all about the will of the people. You must follow your heart or, in many cases, your religion or your faith. Do what's right for your family and do what's right for yourself. Do what's right for your children. Do what's right for our country and vote. So important to vote. At the end of the day, it's all about will of the people. That's where we are right now, and that's what we want, the will of the people. I want to thank the 6 justices, Chief Justice John Roberts, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, and Neil Gorsuch, incredible people, for having the courage to allow this long-term, hard-fought battle to finally end. This 50-year battle over Roe v. Wade took it out of the federal hands and brought it into the hearts, minds, and vote of the people in each state. It was really something. Now it's up to the states to do the right thing. Like Ronald Reagan, I am strongly in favor of exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. You must follow your heart on this issue, but remember, you must also win elections to restore our culture and, in fact, to save our country, which is currently and very sadly a nation in decline. Our nation needs help. It needs unity. It needs us all to work closely together. Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, everyone, we have to work together. We have to bring our nation back from the brink, and that's where it is. It's at the brink, and we will. We will do it. I promise you, we will do it. Always go by your heart, but we must win. We have to win.
Okay. My lady, what I was talking about.
Well,
is
see,
not-
my thing was I wanted it to be known that Trump he does not say that he is all against abortion. What he says in
It's
incest
not against
rape,
IVF.
and and incest and in the life of the mother. Okay.
Okay.
I just want
and my lady, what I was talking about is not the morning after pill. This is a pill that medically induces a miscarriage. To have a miscarriage, you have to be pregnant for sure. So therefore, the morning after pill, you don't know if you're pregnant or not. It'll just prevent anything. The drug I'm talking about is not the morning after pill. And you don't need to get the morning after pill through the mail. If you have a doctor, the doctor can prescribe it and you can get it. But that is also up to the states now. It's not up to him. It's not up to anybody but the states. I understand that Texas has a tough law on
Texas
abortion.
has gotten extremely radical about.
And I will say prayers for Texas that they can lighten up. There's nothing wrong, okay? There is nothing wrong with the morning after pill, because at that point it's nothing but cells and molecules. There's nothing wrong with the morning after pill. I'm not saying there is. Enough said about that subject. Mass deportations. They said that it's going to target the immigration communities and that they're going to end birthright citizenships and separate families and dismantle our nation's asylum system. That's not what he stands for. He wants the illegal people here, and especially the murderers and the rapists and the violent gang members out of here.
The gang members, the rapists, the killers,
who doesn't want that? I don't
see. It would be like us emptying our prisons right now, and Jeffrey Dahmer could go over to Venezuela if he was still alive.
Right. Who doesn't want that? I don't want to be. I don't care if you're an American citizen or an illegal alien. I don't want you here if you're a murderer or a rapist or a violent ass person. It doesn't matter if you're illegal or not. And if you came here illegally to come kill our citizens, then yeah, I want you out of here. And if we could deport,
actually, I'm with you 100%. If you're illegal, I want you out of here.
Right.
You didn't come here, check out. You weren't vetted. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
But there's some situations, like we've talked about, that some people don't know that they're illegal. Now, do they get deported after 70 years? Right. That's the guy I'm talking about, the guy in Florida that was worked 70 years here, put in for Social Security, put in his taxes, did everything else, and did not know that he was considered illegal.
And
And
become
now,
a prostitute.
and now he can't get Social Security because he's considered an illegal. No, no. He should be able to stay, and I think that some laws will be bent in his favor. I don't think they will deport him. But what we're talking about is
How
the
old
ones
was he
that
when
are
he
coming
came
over
over?
crazy.
How old was he when he came over?
His family brought him over. He was young,
Okay.
but he worked here 70 years.
And he paid taxes. So
And he
yes,
paid
I
taxes.
agree. He's
Yeah.
entitled to stay here.
Right.
He's not an axe murderer. He's not, somebody
Right.
out there raping people. He's
Right.
lived and worked in society. There's no reason they should.
Yeah, but you know what? He worked here. He put in. He did his time. And you know what? I'm sure there'll bend the laws for him. What
And
we're
they should.
talking about are the ones coming over here causing havoc, and I'm not paying my taxpayer money so that they can live free, high on the hog, while the rest of us suffer. No, bye-bye.
And when they say they're going to close the borders, it's not that they're going to close the borders and not let anybody in. Just come in. If you're seeking asylum, prove it. Don't just say I want asylum, get a court date and be out of here in your history. Show up for the court date if you want asylum.
They're not going to show up at any of those court dates. They're going to be lost in the United States, and it's the biggest country in the world, and we're going to have a hard time finding them.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Yes, KMM. And but obviously
and this
if they
is
have
one
a
of
green
the
card,
few-
they're here legally.
But this is one of the few that he didn't have a green card because he didn't know it was illegal. I mean,
Right.
there's not very many of those kind of cases, and he's one of them. And I'm sure the law will bend for him. We'll probably never hear about it again, but he should be able to stay. He did his time. He paid his money, and and he didn't know he wasn't illegal. That's the funny
Right.
part. He didn't know. But believe me, the ones that are coming across right now know damn good and well that they're illegal.
Well, and here's the thing.
20s.
Here's the thing. When anywhere from newborn to let's just say 9 or 10, maybe even 12. If you come over with your family, you aren't in the position to try and be legal.
Can you imagine this? Can you imagine it like turning yourself in when you're trying to get your Social Security? I mean, it is kind of funny how sad. That's sad. That is the saddest thing I've been.
I need to go.
That's the kind of luck I have. I'm telling you right now, that's the kind of luck I have. Go to collect my Social Security and then say, you know what? There is no more. You ain't getting any. Or you know what? You're illegal. You're going to Mars because we're going to send you away. Unbelievable.
Right. And when you're a kid, you're not going to say, hey, are we here legally, Mom?
You think they're going to tell you? I got news for you. I don't think your parents are going to tell you whether they're here. They don't want to tell you that they're illegal.
There's probably more children here that don't even realize they're here legally. Honestly.
Right.
They probably.
That's funny because the lady reaches across the desk to call the people after you. Why are you calling? Who are you calling? How come, where are they going to take me to? Can you imagine? And he doesn't even know where he's going to. He doesn't have any relatives there. All right. That's a sad situation. Go ahead. Sorry, Linda. That was kind of funny.
Yeah. And the next thing, like I said, these are the major highlights that were pointed out. So the next one was abusing warrantless surveillance, which means that the executive branch is going to spy on Americans with surveillance of our data. Wake up!
They've
It's
already been doing that. They've
They've
already
been
been
doing
doing
it.
that. They're doing that right now. You know what? I can tell you about that. Let me tell you a little story about that. All right. I got a letter in the mail for insurance for Caddy Connie.
What?
Yeah. Progressive wants Caddy Connie to insure her car. Progressive does. Now tell me.
Well, hell, you should just jump on that.
Yeah, they're
You'll probably
listening.
get a better rate. I wonder if Caddy Connie can get one of those visas.
I know, right? I want to get. Caddy Connie needs to get one of those Visa cards that have $10,000 on it, so I can go grocery shopping and get everything these guys are getting. And you know what? And I want to go spend a day in a five-star hotel. Yeah, they're good. You're right. You're right. They're going to deport Caddy Connie. She's going to go to, I don't know, Africa. They send her to the Congo. Go ahead. Sorry, Linda.
No, tell them you want to be deported to Belize.
Oh, I want to be deported. I'll just tell them I'm Irish. So if you're going to deport me, go ahead. I'll go to Ireland. Send me
There you
there.
go.
I'm still young enough. I could do something. They may have a job for me. By God, send me to Ireland. They may have a job for me.
Right, right. So, yeah, that's already happening. Already happening. And they're talking about violating the First Amendment using federal law enforcement to target journalists and protesters. Well, you know what? Maybe some of the journalists should be investigated for the First Amendment. Because I'm sorry, this is where Project 25 that I feel the Democrats took on. They tried to shut everybody up. They wouldn't let mainstream media tell the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, we've been witnessing it for months and months and months.
Hiding.
Years.
They're hiding stuff.
We've been, yeah. Exactly. They're
And
hiding
it's been
stuff
for years. And it's been for years and years. And we can go, yeah, Antifa. Let's go into, okay. And I'm just going to say one thing, make it really easy, because you know what, we can make it real easy. The 9/11 thing. Did you hear the truth about the 9/11 thing? I don't think we did. I think there's a lot more there than what we know about. We sure didn't hear the truth. So, just saying.
No, we did not hear the truth. Maybe one day.
We'll hear the truth. And that would be very nice, because I would love to hear the real truth on that whole thing. And we sure didn't hear the truth on the Kennedy scandal. And that was Democratic. And we sure didn't hear the truth about that. There was a man that did time, a lot of time, and is still doing time. And I don't believe he even did it. So there you go. They had to have a scapegoat, and they pinned it on somebody. All right. Sorry, Linda. Go ahead.
Yep. So then there's three more. And this is what's crazy, is abusing the power to interfere with elections, criminalizing the voting process, and demanding fair representation. Yes, it's got to be fair and free elections.
Yeah.
It's got to be. Again, this is another one of the things. They're not going to terminate your voting rights. But in the same token, voting has turned into a nasty, ugly, and I'm not saying one side's doing it more than the other, and I'm not saying the other side's doing it less than the other. All I'm saying is that there are people being caught cheating.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, it should be looked into. You know, they're not trying to limit your voting at all.
Nobody likes to lose.
No,
Let's get that straight. Nobody likes to lose.
no.
And I'm going to tell you, growing up, I was probably the sorest loser in the world. And I had a cousin that we used to play life. And he'd go, I got to go to the bathroom. And I said, okay, go ahead. And while he was gone, I'd say, I'm going to go ahead and roll. And now, whether I roll it or not, I said, I landed on revenge.
See?
And he was younger than me, and I took advantage of it. I'm sorry.
Thank you for being
At least
honest.
I'm coming clean with it. Dear Lord, forgive me. I cheated in just about every game.
Right.
But it made him a good player.
Mhm.
He plays like a demon now. He's all mad. But I'm just saying. Just saying.
Right. But my lady,
It's got to be fair. It's got to be
either
fair.
way it goes, because everybody's saying the election was stolen this time. So it's going to happen. It's going to be said. And it is what it is. And whether people know it or not, they've been cheating in the elections for years. I mean, probably since they went to the way they vote now. They've been cheating. Or
Okay,
trying
here's
to cheat one
here's
way
my
or
thing.
another.
When, and I would like somebody to answer this for me, and I bet you Donna could answer this for me in a heartbeat. When did we go from a 1-day election to a 1 week or 2 week election?
That was in
You just froze up. So I
2016.
missed it. 2016
Yeah.
was when they first started that. Because you know what?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way. We should have 1 day. You get it done in a day. If you don't get the votes counted in that day, well, sorry, you know what? Sorry.
And you
sorry
know what?
for that.
I don't remember when they started absentee voting, but I remember them talking about it as a kid or a teenager, right? In the specific reasons why you can't get your ass to the. You couldn't just be lazy and be like, I'm just going to mail it in. You had to be out of the country. You had to be in the military. You had to be in the hospital. You had to, you had to be bedridden. There were strict guidelines to mail in absentee ballot voting.
Right. Right.
They should go back to that. Not just because it's inconvenient for you to get up early and go vote or get home from work late and vote.
And the evangelicals need to dust their butt off and get off the recliner and go out and vote, because they don't vote. They think God's going to take care of it for them. And you know what? He's not. God's not going to take care of it. You got to get, God only helps those who help themselves. Get off your couch and go vote.
Exactly. And if you don't vote, you don't have a right to say anything at all. Nothing at all.
That's the way I feel too.
And that's exactly, I think, why my younger son voted this time. It's like, you've been bitching and complaining, but you've never voted and you're 38 years old.
Well, then you know what? Then those 14 who didn't vote need to keep their 14 million need to shut their face.
Yep, exactly.
They have nothing. They can say nothing. If they don't like the way it turned out, then you know what? Sorry.
Right.
You do your civic duty.
So they're not
a very good system in India. Let me see this. We have a very good system in Indiana. They used our state as a model. Very strict. ID required mail-in, has strict rules. Well, good. That's what we need.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we need.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference between absentee ballot. I don't know why I keep saying ballot. There's a difference between absentee ballot and mail-in ballot. Absentee is what it was originally called. And that's because, like the reasons I gave, you're bedridden, you're out of the country, you're in the military.
Didn't you see the video where they rolled Jimmy Carter? Jimmy Carter is hospice, for God's sake. He's barely breathing, and he went and voted. Do you think, come on, Come on, let's be honest here. Do you really think that Jimmy Carter knew who he was voting for? Because they're still counting the days on how long he's going to be taking his last breath.
Right.
I don't think he knew, because he didn't make much of a comment when he was at his wife's funeral. So, I mean, I'm just saying, y'all,
Right.
some of this is taken advantage of.
Yeah, and that's crazy too, Donna.
You know what? I'm sick of hearing racist, and I'm sick of hearing all that stuff.
I am
Sorry.
sick of hearing racist. I'm not racist because
I
I
am not
voted.
racist.
I'm not racist because I voted. I'm sorry.
Linda, I'm not racist. I think everybody should own somebody. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Sorry.
I gave up ownership of my ex-husband, so at the moment I don't.
It
own
was a
anybody.
joke. It was a joke.
At the moment, I don't own anybody. But I plan to change that.
I know.
I plan to change that.
Yeah,
But anyway, no, just kidding.
I'm still an owner.
You are still an owner. You've been an owner for a long time. Love me long time.
Still an owner. I bet Donna's been an owner for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, and bless all of you that still have your ownership.
Mm-hmm.
I threw mine in because I didn't like my model.
You turned it in for a new one? You turned it in for a new model? You're looking at the model?
I got screwed on my model.
Yep.
No, wait a minute. But yeah, all jokes aside, you guys, nobody owns anybody.
You know what, Milady Sato? You're right. You did too. Same thing. Looking for that new and improved model.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, speaking of new and improved models, and not to change the subject, anything, but I saw it today and I was like, oh my God, yesterday, the day before. Anyway, I was so excited about it that, you know what, I may have a podcast on it just by itself because I was so excited. Our country wants to be the first one to come up with the flying car. Can you imagine?
Do you know they already have it?
China, no, we want to do one that slowly brings itself up and goes. Can you imagine my 85-year-old mama with a flying car?
Did you hear me?
Yeah, we already have one.
Have it.
Okay, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
They said by 20, what was it? 20 something, we should have had flying cars like Jetsons.
I want a flying car. You know what? It would take us a short period of time to get to where we are going to go. Actually, it would take a day.
They're coming out with flying taxis in New York sometime in the next couple of years.
No, you're right. She doesn't have a car currently, so we could get her. Yeah, why she could update to a flying car. Oh my God, could you imagine her in a flying car? No, there's a scary thought.
Well, she could update to a flying car because then she wouldn't get in an accident and she would be safe. And, from my understanding, they're autonomous.
But you know what? 1 million people. How many is there? What's the population? 80 million people with flying cars.
Stay in your own lane gives a new meaning.
Stay on your own cloud.
Yeah, right. Where are you going, Cloud 9? Does anybody even use that term anymore? Cloud 9? And does anybody know where it came from?
Cloud 9?
Yeah.
I'll bet you Donna knows where that came from, that phrase, flying on Cloud 9. But here's the thing. I wonder if you have a flying car, if you have to have a pilot's license.
Well, wouldn't that kind of be like a dual chauffeur type license too? Like a pilot / driver's license? You know, like
Oh, I'm gonna do some research on that, y'all. That boy, wouldn't that be fun? I'm gonna dig into that. Sorry, Linda.
do.
Oh, I've got
Because I'll tell you, I read an article and I do know that they do have flying autonomous cars and they're supposed to be using them in New York sometime in the next 5 years.
wow.
Yeah. So do look into it. Okay. And then the other thing is the censoring critical discussions in the classroom, censoring discussions about race, gender, oppression, and that's in the violation of the First Amendment and promising to cut federal funding for schools that touch on these subjects. Okay. Here's my opinion. My opinion is there's a place and a time, and my opinion is there's an age. There is a reason why they don't teach sex education or about the girl and boy body until 6th grade. It was always been the 6th grade. My grandson just did it 2 or 3 years ago. 2 years ago. And that's the age they can start to understand how the boy's body functions and how the girl's body function. So yes, should they stop school funding? No, but they should not be teaching kindergartners. I'm sorry, my lady, if this upsets you, but they should not be teaching kindergartners that you can identify as anything you want to be, because 90% of a kindergartner will want to be an animal of some sort because they don't know. They're a girl. They were born a girl. They're a girl. They're a boy. They were born a boy. They're a boy.
Well, you know what?
I
remember when they taught. They took the girls off in the 6th grade and talked to you about your menstruation and stuff. And I'm going to tell you what. They giggled. Everyone giggled like it was a funny thing because you know what? It was so embarrassing. They just laughed.
Right. And I'll be the first one to tell you.
See, look,
I'll be
there it is.
Yep.
There it is. Every child wants to be a dog or a cat or
exactly. Except
or
for me, I wanted to be a wife. Seriously.
Really? You wanted to be a wife? Oh
Seriously.
No, I wanted to
I always played house. Always.
I always, you know what was funny is when I was growing up, they'd say, "What are you going to be when you grow up?" And I used to say, "I'm going to be a secretary. I'm going to be a secretary," and I never was.
Secretaries were real big back then too.
Yeah, so because that's what I wanted to be. That was like a good job. I wanted to be a secretary. I didn't want to be an actress. I didn't want to be a model. I wanted to be a secretary. Instead, I broke horses and did crazy stuff. So there you go. So
yeah, right, exactly. So, and that's, I mean, I see where they want to. If this goes towards elementary school, then yes, I am for them not discussing it there. I like I said, there's an age. There is an age, and
okay, there you go. It's from the 1950s. U.S. Weather Bureau. Cloud 9 is cumulonimbus, the greatest cloud in the world.
Yes, the greatest cloud in the world. Huh.
Well, thank you, Donna. I knew you knew it. I just knew you knew it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And before I get to the next one, because the next one is like the last one, and it's the most controversial one. And again, there's a place and a time for all of it, and it's rolling back transgender rights. Everybody has a right to their rights, whether you're transgender.
Look, after the 6th grade, it should be required that everyone take a sex ed class.
And it usually is. Mm-hmm. It usually is. And it shouldn't. And you shouldn't wait till 9th grade, because for some people it's too late then.
Well, in the 6th grade, they're still giggling about it. But anyway. Sorry.
I'll be the first one to admit after my sex ed class, I looked right at my girlfriend walking home from school and I said, I will never do that because that looks like that would hurt. Nope, not, I'm never going to do that.
Well, see, this is the problem, Lady Sato. Some parents want to keep their kids in the dark, and I don't think that's quite the answer either. Okay.
Right.
Because this is why we have so many young people that are pregnant because they don't know. They don't know the repercussions. And
yes, you can sign a paper. Actually, you have to sign a paper to let them in the class.
yep. And I think they all
my
need
son
to
had
know.
to sign it. And it has to be both parents, by the way. My son and daughter-in-law had to sign the class for my grandson.
Well, see, yours probably wasn't funny at all, but we were giggling because it was co-ed, and everybody was giggling because they were embarrassed.
Right, and you also need to understand that.
When I was growing up, you didn't talk about that.
And it was also cartoon stuff. It was not a real gender reveal. It was cartoon. It was pictures. It was
Yes.
Was it or was it not cartoony-ish?
It was. It was. Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why a lot of
the terminology.
don't know that kind of stuff because they
and the terminology, like instead of getting it, it was the one that really made me laugh was heavy petting. Do you remember? Do you remember that terminology? It's like, what am I, a dog? There, and it goes back to that. You tell a kindergartner heavy petting, and they're going to think that you're petting the dog too hard.
You know, I am telling you right now, they were like, everybody get in their roles. And then the very first thing the teacher said, okay, first of all, I got to tell the story here. My sex ed teacher was dating the English teacher, so we knew something was going on anyway. And so then she had to tell us about it. And people in the back row were making puns saying, well, you know, I bet she knows all about it. She's over there dating Mr. Stutt. And it was rather embarrassing. But the very first thing she said when she came out was, okay, now everyone, this is not a laughing matter. And then she put up the card.
Right.
And everyone started laughing. I mean, it's like, I've never seen anything that looked like that on my body. Never looked like that. It never looked like that on my body. It was a cartoon. Yeah, she was very versed in the subject. She could tell us all kinds of things. Her name was Mrs. Chitty, by the way. she needed to marry Mr. Stutt.
Right. And, you know, the last one is about transgender, and it's rolling back the rights of transgender. And let me finish. Let me get all the way through what I'm going to say about this.
All right.
Is that they're threatening, the private actors to discriminate against transgender people by threatening to sue the schools that protect the rights of transgender students, or telling hospitals that they will lose their Medicaid funding if they provide transgender affirming medical care to transgender adolescents. Okay, now here's what it is. Number one, hospitals shouldn't get their funding cut for anything because they need their funding. Okay. Number two, as far as Medicaid goes, I don't think taxpayers should be paying for your gender change. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But the other thing is, I don't believe that they should have the right to take your child without your permission to go start hormone pills. Number one, your brain is not even developed until you are 26 years old. You can argue with me all you want about it. 26 years old is when your brain finally really matures. A 12-year-old is not in their right mind Because yeah, when I was 12, I thought, God, life is so much easier being a boy. So if somebody could have swayed me back then, they could have. Not that I wanted to be a boy, but I just thought life was easier. All they had to do was
You
take
know
a
what?
pill and boom, be done.
I'm with you here. I'm with you 100%. If you're going to pay for them to become a man or a woman, then I think you should pay for my liposuction. If I want to have liposuction. If you're going to pay for that man or that
Yes.
woman,
Yes.
then you need to pay for my liposuction.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Or
And
my
when you-
facelift.
I mean,
or my boob job or whatever else I want done.
obviously, when you're 18, you legally become an adult, and at 21, you're even legally an adult. Okay. And if you choose to have that operation, go for it. If that's truly what you want to do, go for it with all of my blessings.
You want to pay
But-
for it, you want to do it, and that's what you want to do.
Pay
Fine.
for it out of your pocket.
Make sure you're mentally able to understand exactly all the stuff that goes with it, and you're old enough to make that decision.
The government didn't pay for
Don't
my
take a
plastic
5-year-old
surgery.
I'm not with that.
I'm just saying the government didn't pay for my plastic surgery and liposuction.
You had plastic surgery.
Yes.
I want
You knew
plastic
that.
surgery.
You knew that.
I know. I'm like, I want plastic surgery. I'm
I
going to
want those lines.
You know what?
I want those lines. And when you smile, there's a big crease here.
Okay.
No, I would never do my face. Never.
You know what? You can only pull your face back so far, and pretty soon it comes back here to the back of your head. I mean, come on. At this age, it don't matter anymore. Just let it hang, because you know what? Don't pull it back too far. I don't want to look. Some of those guys look scary. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And Linda, look, it is that time, y'all.
Goodness
Turtle lips.
That was
Look.
a fast hour.
I want a little tiny stuff in my turtle lips. Well, I want a whole lot of things, but I can't afford it, and I don't think it's up to any of y'all to pay for it. So
It's funny you say that, my lady, because when I was putting on my lipstick today, I looked and I'm like, my God, my lips are getting smaller and smaller and smaller as the years go by. Pretty soon, I'm going to be like, where did the lips go?
we're gonna have to start drawing them way up here like Lucille Ball did.
Right. Like, yep. I did that for Halloween. Because that's what they used to do. They used to do those little Betty Boop lips in the 20s.
That's what I'm gonna have to start doing.
But let me tell you, liposuction is very, 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 very expensive.
Well, yeah, it is. Well, I love y'all. It's been fun. Tomorrow we'll have some other fun stuff to talk over with you and have a good time. Until tomorrow, stay blessed.
All.
Know that I love you and love your neighbor, huh?
Thanks for your continued support, and thanks again to those.
It's only an hour, my ladies. I'm so sorry. It's only an hour. All right, y'all. Take care. Love y'all. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Till next time.
Incoming talk.